to my YouTube channel, everyone. At the weekend I dug up all my onions and it was quite a very bad crop. This is the worst crop I've had for onions so far. So I'll just show you what I dug up, and I'll show you what else I've got going on around here in the potting shed. Okay, so these are the onions that I dug up, and the first thing you notice is the size compared to last year. I'll see if I can put a link up on the video so you can have a look at last year's. But these are, well, they're pathetic. And I threw away about half a dozen ones smaller than this. The largest ones are about that size, which is I would say the average size of an onion, and much smaller than what I grew last year. But the other thing that happened with the onions is that they went to seed early. So there you can see the flower spikes coming out of two of these onions. So these won't even store. What happens is the flower spike comes out from the centre of the onion and grows up. And it's much harder than the normal flesh of the onion. That one as well. So what happens is you've got this central core of the onion, which is rock hard and no good for cooking. And it also means these are no good for storing either, because the necks on these ones will never dry out. So these are going to be used. In fact, I might use one tonight. But yeah, by far the worst harvest of onions I've ever had. Now, if you compare that to the garlic, which I've got up here, there's some good sized garlic bulbs there, and they're all drying out nicely. I'll give them another week hanging up there drying. But yeah, dreadful onions. Tonight I'm actually going to go up to the allotment and I'm going to put my leeks into the ground. So I've got the leeks all in a big pot. So what I'll do with them is I'll separate them all up into individual leeks, use the bulb planter to dig a large hole, put the leeks in, water them in, and that should be them good. That should be them good to go. So I'll leave this for now, and I'll see you later at the allotment later this evening. Welcome back to the plot, everyone. As promised, I am going to put my leeks into the ground. Let me show you there. So there's not many. There's maybe what, 15, 2 dozen at the most. So they've been in here long enough. I think it's time to put them in the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out, soak them in that bowl of water, and separate them all, so I can then plant them individually. So I've got the leeks here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them out. You can see they've got good root balls there. I'm going to soak them in this water just to release all the soil around the roots. And then I just tease them apart. At the moment they look more like spring onions than leeks, but see, I can put them in this tray. So there you go. You wash all the soil off the roots and just gently tease them apart like that. And as you get more of them out, it gets easier and easier. Then what I'll do is I'll go up to the top bed and I'll use a bulb planter, I'll show you that in a minute, to make holes to plant these in. And then it's just a case of putting some water in to make the soil on the sides of the hole wash down over the roots. I mean, some of these are very small, but hopefully they'll pick up once they're in the ground. It could be a case that all the nutrients are done within that pot. And what I'll do with this water is I'll just pour it on the raised bed to add a few millimetres more compost to it. It's not much, but why waste it? I hope these were leeks. Basically, this is all you do to get them out. These ones are not so bad, they're in individual cells, so they're not all tangled up. But that's it. Leeks out. Next step, make some holes and get them in the ground. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bulb planter, make some holes and get the leeks in the holes. I'm also going to weed out any bindweed that I see at the same time. Okay, so this is a bag of my secondary potatoes. They're called Rocket. I don't know whether you can see, but there's been some significant slug damage. Seems that nothing's safe. But we'll tip these out and see what we get. I tipped out a couple of bags at the weekend and the harvest wasn't anything to shout about. But we'll see what we get in this one. First I'll just cut off all the stems. Then I'll tip it in the wheelbarrow and we can search through it to see what we get. Okay, well I can see some right away. I was getting worried there. I think we put 3 seed potatoes in here, so what we've got back so far is not spectacular. Well, there you can see folks, that was 3 seed potatoes. Quite a disappointing yield. The potatoes are quite clean, there's no scab or nothing, but yeah, there's not an awful lot there. Let me get rid of this and I'll do the last sack. Well folks, this is the last bag of all the potatoes. Let's see what we've got. Again, this was 3 seed potatoes. This compost is a lot drier than the one in the previous bag, and they were both sitting beside each other. So I don't know whether, because this is my own compost by the looks of it, whether it drains more quickly. And this is a different type of potato. I don't think these are rocket. This is a good example of bindweed. This bit here there's a piece that I missed the last time I was weeding, and you can see it's managed to grow this from this bit here. In fact, if it was only that bit there with a little node on it, it would have still produced this. Anyway, we're here for potatoes, not bindweed. But if anyone knows a good recipe for bindweed, then let me know, because I've got stacks of it. So it looks like there's two different types in this bag. This might have been the last bag I put in, and it might be I had one of one type and a spare one of another type. So I'll just put them in together. Okay, I'll just get rid of some of this compost so I can see what I'm doing. Well, I think that's it. I can't seem to see any more. So there you go. All the ones on this side were in the first bag, and the ones on this side were the second bag. There's enough there for a couple of meals, but I'm sure I've had better harvests, a better harvest in previous years. Well, there you go. That's new potatoes.